Welcome, 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 football fanatics, to another electrifying episode of the Daily Dose of Delight podcast. We're coming to you live from our studio, and we've got a topic today that's been sizzling hotter than a summer biryani.
You got that right, Jenny. If you're a soccer fan, especially one who tuned into the recent Gold Cup final between Mexico and the USA, you know exactly what we're talking about. The internet is still buzzing, social media is on fire, and the question on everyone's lips is, why was Mexico's controversial handball not called in the Gold Cup final against the USA?
It was a moment that had fans screaming at their screens, throwing their remote controls, and probably questioning their life choices. We're diving deep into that contentious call, or lack thereof, and giving you all the details, the expert opinions, and the raw emotions surrounding it. You won't want to miss a single minute of this, folks, so buckle up.
Absolutely. This wasn't just any regular game. It was the Gold Cup final. Stakes were incredibly high. National pride was on the line, and then that moment. For those who might have missed it, or perhaps are still recovering from the emotional whiplash, let's set the scene.
It was the 66th or 67th minute of the game. The score was tied 1-1, a truly nail-biting encounter. USA's Max Arfsten was dribbling into the box, pressing for a potential go-ahead goal when Mexico's Jorge Sanchez slid in to make a tackle. Now, as Sanchez went down on one knee, trying to regain his balance, the ball deflected, and his hand, inadvertently or not, ended up directly on the ball, which then went to the ground.
And that's where the chaos began. USMNT players and fans immediately appealed for a handball, expecting a penalty kick. But the referee, Mario Alberto Escobar Toca, waved play on. And here's the kicker, Jenny. VR, the video assistant referee, did not even recommend an on-field review.
It's mind-boggling, Michael. The replays clearly showed Sanchez's hand on the ball. So why no call? Why no VR review? This is where the intricacies of the handball rule come into play, and it's a rule that often causes more confusion than clarity.
Indeed, the current interpretation of the handball rule, as defined by IFAB, International Football Association Board, states that it's an offense if a player deliberately touches the ball with their hand or arm, or touches the ball with their hand or arm when it has made their body unnaturally bigger. However, there's a crucial exception. If a player falls and the ball hits their supporting arm, which is between their body and the ground, it's generally not considered a handball, unless it leads directly to a goal or a goal-scoring opportunity for the player who handled it.
That's the key, isn't it? The referees likely deemed the contact accidental and that Sanchez's arm was in a natural position used to support his fall. So even though the hand touched the ball in the penalty box, the official interpretation suggested it wasn't an offense because he was trying to break his fall. It's a tough distinction to make in real time, and it's even tougher for fans to accept when they see the ball clearly handled.
And that's why these incidents spark such heated debate. Fans look at it from a pure outcome perspective. The hand touched the ball was in the box, it should be a penalty. But the rules try to delve into intent and context, which can be incredibly difficult to assess in real time, even with VAR. Hey, while we're talking about these critical moments and missing out, make sure you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. Hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you get notified every time we drop a new podcast.
Absolutely. Don't miss a beat. Now back to this Gold Cup moment. What's fascinating is the reaction from former referees. Some, like former FIFA referee Fernando Guerrero Ramirez, have come out in defense of the decision, stating that Escobar made a great judgment because Sanchez played the ball first and then, while falling, touched it unintentionally. Their argument focuses on the natural position of the arm for support.
But that doesn't appease the masses. The outrage from USMNT fans was palpable. Social media was flooded with images and videos highlighting the hand on the ball. Many felt it was a blatant missed call that directly influenced the outcome, especially since Mexico scored their winning goal just 10 minutes later. It's hard not to connect the dots, even if it's coincidental, especially when a former Premier League incident involving Martin Odegaard, where a similar accidental handball was later deemed a mistake by officials,
adds to the frustration.
It speaks to the broader impact of controversial refereeing decisions in football. They don't just affect the immediate result, they linger, they breed resentment, and they can fuel conspiracy theories. Fans invest so much emotion, time, and even money into these games, and a decision like this can feel like a punch to the gut. It raises questions about the consistency of officiating, the application of VAR, and the fairness of the game itself.
And VR was supposed to reduce these controversies, not add to them. In theory, VAR is there to correct clear and obvious errors in 4 specific situations: goals, penalties, direct red cards, and mistaken identity. The fact that the VAR room didn't flag this for an on-field review suggests they either agreed with the referee's assessment of accidental contact or simply didn't see it as a clear and obvious error.
Which, for many, is the most baffling part. If that wasn't a clear and obvious error, then what is? It highlights the ongoing struggle to define what exactly constitutes a clear and obvious error, and how much discretion VAR officials should have. It really makes you wonder about the training and the guidelines provided to these officials.
It truly does. And the irony is, in football, unlike many other sports, referees often face immense pressure, but rarely face public accountability for what are perceived as significant errors. They might be demoted or face internal sanctions, but the public rarely gets a clear explanation for these highly scrutinized calls.
That lack of transparency only exacerbates the frustration for fans. Imagine a post-match interview where the referee or VAR official explains their reasoning for such a pivotal decision. It might not satisfy everyone, but it would certainly contribute to a greater understanding and perhaps reduce some of the anger.
Exactly. It boils down to trust in the system. When moments like this happen, especially in a final, that trust is eroded. It becomes less about a bad call and more about a perceived injustice. And as we know, football is as much about passion and emotion as it is about the beautiful game itself.
It absolutely is, and this Gold Cup final handball incident will undoubtedly be talked about for years to come. A classic example of how a single refereeing decision can dominate the post-match narrative and fuel endless debates. It's a stark reminder that even with advanced technology like VAR, the human element and its inherent fallibility remains at the heart of the game.
So, while the official explanation leans towards accidental contact and the arm being in a natural position for support, the court of public opinion, especially among USMNT supporters, remains unconvinced. And that, dear listeners, is the ongoing saga of Mexico's controversial handball that was not called in the Gold Cup final against the USA. Before we wrap up, seriously, if you're enjoying this discussion and want to stay informed on all things delightful and dramatic in the world of sports, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't regret it.
That's all the time we have for today on the Daily Dose of Delight podcast. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into this truly captivating football controversy. It's been an absolute pleasure, Michael.
You too, Jenny. And to all our wonderful listeners, thank you for tuning in. Stay connected with us on social media for more updates and behind-the-scenes content.
We'll be back next episode with another dose of delight. Until then, stay passionate, stay curious, and keep the sporting spirit alive. Bye for now.
See you next time.